So a few weeks ago, I walked past a small church with a sign outside saying open for private prayer, so I went in. The first thing I saw was a postcard pinned to the notice board that said, "Relax, nothing is under control." At first I thought it was quite funny, because it seemed to typify the kind of year that I'd had up to that point. But then the more I thought about that quote, the more I felt increasingly angry with the message that seems to be wrapped up within it. Now, on one level, making plans, being organised, and knowing what comes next is no bad thing. But the problem comes when we confuse having routines or making plans for actually being in control. And let's face it, if the coronavirus has taught us anything this year, it is that none of us are immune from the unexpected storms in life that truly can knock us off our feet. But here is why I hated it. What would it mean for a person stepping into that church and seeing the sign, "Relax, nothing's under control," when that person is having 7 bells knocked out of them at home by an abusive partner? And what would the person whose life is held together and torn apart through addiction, or those whose daily battle is simply to get enough food on the table to feed the kids, what does it say to them? And what does "relax, nothing's under control" mean to those whose daily life is a challenge just to get out of bed in the morning, and for those who live with a black dog called depression? And what might it mean for those in the process of seeking asylum, those who have to report to the authorities, yet when they stand in line, they don't know whether they're going to be detained or allowed to stay until the next time? What does relax mean for them? Now, one of my favourite stories in the Bible is when Jesus found himself stuck in a boat in the middle of a storm with his mates, who were utterly panicked because they thought they were going to drown. Now, if I'd have been there, I'm quite sure I'd have been papping it as well. What I really like about the story is that at no point does Jesus ever say there is nothing to be afraid of, because fearsome things in life are very real. Now, the picture attached to this reflection was taken after Hurricane Katrina struck in New Orleans in 2005. Everything was destroyed in the church, yet somehow this statue survived. So if I'd have had the choice and no one was looking, I would have removed the relax card from the church and put this one up instead, as a reminder of 2 important truths that we all need to remember when we are straining under life's storms. The first is, despite the storms that in life that knock us off our feet and wreak havoc, Jesus will always hold us and will never let us go. And the second is that the statue of Jesus is just as damaged and scarred by the storm as the child that he is holding, which for me reminds me that God is always in the midst of everything that we will ever face in life, and that our pain truly is his.